Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, My Asexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel yet, please hit the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you like the content. Don't forget, if you don't know who I am, check out the links down below. I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories. Hello Andy, nice to see you. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. Hi Andy again, really nice to see you. So this episode is dedicated to one of my friends called Amit Singh. Yes, he's Indian. Yes, he's beautiful. Does he live in the UK? No. But he's a really, really lovely guy. I've known him some time now in the asexual community. And he's a very interesting person. He does computer work. And he also writes very, very deep poetry, very, very deep. A lot of it's quite dark, which, you know, I tend to like the love and romance poems quite a lot, you know, the more light-hearted stuff. But I used to write a lot of dark poetry myself when I particularly went through dark times in the past, and sometimes the dark poems can be some of the most, you know, most profound, most shocking, but most get into your soul. And so I was having a conversation with Amit today, and it's really difficult for him because he is impotent. And he was telling me today how his family have disowned him because of them believing he's not a man, because he's impotent. And I just think that is so horrible for him, you know, really, really, really horrible for him to, you know, have those problems, you know, that a family disowns him just because he can't have sex and get it up, basically. It's really horrible. And I was saying to him, you know, are you impotent or are you asexual? And he says maybe both. It's very difficult for him to know, but he hasn't felt any sexual feelings like that since he was 24 years old. He's in a relationship with a girl at the moment who isn't asexual. He considers himself demisexual currently. So but he is, by his own admission, impotent. And, you know, I think it's very hard for people who are impotent in a lot of cases, because many of them, they do lose all interest in sex. They lose interest in sex. They don't feel like having sex. They don't want to have sex. This isn't the case for everyone, but I do get some people applying to be in my asexual no sex dating group. And it's very difficult for me to decide whether to let them into the group, because impotency is a sexual dysfunction, whereas asexuality is a sexual orientation. They are two completely separate things. However, they can go together, because someone who's impotent could have no sexual urges, no sexual attraction, and, you know, the result is they are asexual in all the ways that we would be asexual, but for a different reason, if you know what I mean. We're asexual because we don't experience a sexual attraction, or we don't have interest in sexual activities. But some impotent people are like that too, and I think it's really difficult for impotent people because it's like they've got nowhere to go. It's like they're not, you know, some of them can't call themselves asexual in the sense that it's a sexual dysfunction they've got, but then it's like, well, they're not heteronormative because they don't have those feelings. And so in a way they are asexual through circumstances because they don't experience a sexual attraction. But this is not the case, I'm saying, for every person who's impotent. You know, some people who are impotent might still get the feelings of sexual attraction. They may still feel the urge and the need and the want for sex, even though they can't have it. So some people that are impotent, that don't have any sexual feelings, that don't experience sexual attraction, that have little interest in having sex, those would be the people that would identify as asexual and impotent, not the people who are still sexually active in their thoughts and their feelings, but just can't physically have it. So it's a very difficult one, and only the person who's actually, feeling that way and had that happen to them can decide. But some asexuals are impotent too, just like some asexuals are disabled too. So that is another very tricky situation, because some people may be disabled and it stops them having sex. That isn't the same as being asexual in sexual orientation, as in not feeling the sexual attraction, but their disability might have stopped them feeling sexual attraction. So therefore they could consider themselves as asexual because they don't have the sexual feelings anymore. They're not interested in sex at all. So this is how it gets very complicated, and it's a very sensitive issue for some people. And I kind of feel there should be a group for people who are disabled and impotent and can't have sex. I feel there should be certain groups of, there might be some groups that are specifically for those people, because I kind of feel they're left out like us. And obviously people who are asexual, who are sex repulsed, and the people that are impotent that just really can't get it up at all, those could be a match for a relationship, because there are people who are impotent and people who are disabled who are feeling lost, lonely, sad, that they can't get anyone for a relationship, because sex means everything to some people in a relationship. Sex to some sexuals is just like they can't live without it in a relationship. And I do get that from the point of view I love kissing and can't be with someone without kissing, and I need public displays of affection as well. So I do get it. We all have our own needs, and it's really important to acknowledge that and not hide from it or pretend we haven't. So I do feel it's very difficult for some people who can't have sex and they're not born asexual, for example, necessarily. Obviously, if they've been impotent from birth, they might just grow up knowing they're asexual, when they find out they are. So, but I think it's kind of like really hard for them, like it is for us, because they don't fit into society, and I think it's sad when, I've read a sexual forum, people with sexuals in it commenting on impotent people, going, oh yeah, this guy was impotent, I couldn't be with him, I need sex, this is, I couldn't be with an impotent guy, and we tried everything to get him to not be impotent anymore, and nothing was working. It was really frustrating. I just, so in the end I gave up and I couldn't be with him. And I've read stuff like that because it's just interesting to see how sexuals think. Just because I'm not sexual doesn't mean to say I don't understand the sexual point of view, but also equally is the person's point of view when they can't have the sex, which I think it's sad that they can't be loved without sex. But I do get the fact that some sexuals need that in a relationship, and it's best to be honest and open. Anyway, Amit Singh, he watches this channel, and he'll probably be asleep now because he lives in India, and he said he was going to sleep, but he wrote a poem for me to put on my channel, and I didn't want to change it. I wanted to leave it exactly how it was, and it's a poem that reflects how he feels about what happened to him when he found out it was impotent and how he's been treated. So I'm just going to have a sip of water from my nice frozen Olaf mug. Then I'm going to begin the poem. The poem I'm going to be looking at down there because he sent it me on Messenger and Facebook. So I'm going to be scrolling and reading along. I hope I read it out right. I'm not sure if there's like I think there might have been a spelling or grammar error in there, but I'm just going to read it as it is. So I hope I do a great job for him. So here we go. Defected Man. This is what it's called. The poem, Defected Man. When he was a teen, everything was fine. Lots of dreams and inspiration made him shine. But something he came to know made him hide things in a continuous line. Months gone by. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'll start again, sorry. I'm trying to look at you and I'm trying to look at there. I will look at there. So if I don't look into your eyes, you know why. So I'll start again. Okay, so you got the flow. Defected man. When he was teen, because there's some spelling errors and grammar errors, so that's why it's quite hard as well. So defected man. When he was a teen, everything was fine. Lots of dreams and inspiration made him shine. But something he came to know made him hide things in a continuous line. Months gone, years born, decade made his heart torn. One day he met a hope for new life. He revealed his secret in a while. He is not a normal male. He is no sex, no lust male. Family got misunderstood. There is no one with him to stood. Friends and siblings thought he is gay. Everyone has left him in the life's worst bay. Neighbours got a new gossip that he had defected too. Everyone kicked him from their life and ignored him like a fool. His body got shivered while sleeping at the street. No one invited him, family get-together, treats. Every single person ignored him, repeat by repeat. When he gone for interview, his third gender resume, made his success and opportunities to be paused. Sorry, just trying to find my place again. Sorry. That's because I'm doing it through Messenger. Okay, right. He wiped his tears and got smiles after fake face wash. His smiles and today his loved one. Behaviour made him feel questions, being demisexual, third gender, a liar. He had changed his resume. He made him a male. Now he will cheat everyone by making them feel he is a male. That now the head of religion will let him to take medicine for erectile dysfunction. Now he have to be fake because no one wants a defected male. So yeah, I'm really sorry I couldn't read that all in one go because I was on Facebook and I was scrolling down and it flicked right back up. So I feel like I should read it all over again because now it's like, it's not like I've not been continuous. Should I do it once more? This is like the third time people are like, get on with it, Sandra. I'm going to do it once more. But there are, as you can see, there are some spelling and grammar errors because he's Indian. So it's very hard for me to read it sometimes because it's like missing words out. And I'm kind of missing the words out as I'm speaking or putting the odd one in. But I think you get the point of it. I'll read it once more just so you get it because otherwise it's quite hard. But it's quite a heartfelt poem. So I'll read it one more time. Okay. And I hope this time it won't move. Okay. Right. Defected man. When he was a teen, everything was fine. Lots of dreams and inspiration made him shine. But something he came to know made him hide things in a continuous line. Months gone, years born, decade made his heart torn. One day he met a hope for new life. He revealed his secret in a while. He is no sex, no lust male. Family got misunderstood. There is no one with him to stood. Friends and siblings thought he is gay. Everyone has left him in life's worst bay. Neighbours got a new gossip that he had defected too. Everyone kicked him from their life and ignored him like a fool. His body got shivered while sleeping at the street. No one invited him at family get-together treats. Every single person ignored him repeat by repeat. When he gone for interview, his third gender resume made his success an opportunity to be paused. He wiped his tears and got smiles after fake face wash. His smiles and today his loved one. Behaviour made him feel questions. Being demisexual, third gender, a liar. He had changed his resume. He made him a male. Now he will cheat everyone by making them feel he is a male. That now the head of religion will let him to take medicine for erectile dysfunction. Now he have to be fake because no one wants a defected male. So I hope you enjoyed the poem. For the third time I read it fully. Hello, Michael. Sorry I couldn't say hello to you before, but I just started reading the poem out because I'd had problems. So I'm trying to read it off Facebook Messenger, but as I'm scrolling down, the arrow went shooting back up and I ended up like losing my place. And so, yeah, that was a poem by Amit Singh, who is in the asexual community, and he asked me to read it out on this channel, and I thought it's really important to talk about asexuality and impotency, because obviously there is a distinction. Whereas impotency is a sexual dysfunction, whereas asexuality is a sexual orientation. However, some people can be asexual and impotent at the same time, because their impotency could have made them feel like no longer having sexual attraction and no longer feeling the need, urge or want for sexual intercourse, or it never did. And so I thought it was important to read that out. And I asked him, you know, are you asexual or impotent? And he said maybe both. So he's not entirely sure. He's honest. He considers himself demisexual, but he said he hasn't had sexual feelings since he was 24. I know he's still quite young. I think he's still in his 20s now, but you know, he doesn't, you know, he's more about romance and kissing and cuddling, all that type of thing, and deep love. So, you know, I just want to read his poem out because I was talking at the beginning of this video about how sad it is the way he was telling me his family treated, because he's in India, right? Indians are supposed to have sex, get married, have sex and then have kids. You know, they always have to have marriage before kids usually, and before sex, unless they do it when they're not supposed to, you know, that's their sort of culture. And so that is like in India, you know, I get attracted to Indian guys, you know, I know quite a lot, well, I don't know if you know, but I know quite a lot about Indian culture, and in many ways my culture and their culture and my own sort of life philosophy, they just don't go together, because I don't want marriage, certainly don't want kids, and I don't want sex either. And they all need the marriage because their families, is to do with their family culture, and the fact that if they don't get married, they're seen as bringing shame on the family. I just think it's such an outdated concept, but obviously they kind of live their life how the UK culture used to be years ago. And so, you know, there are some good things, you know, they're very family orientated Indians. You know, they're very beautiful in that way. They treat their friends like family a lot of the time. And, you know, there can be a lot of good things about Indian guys. Obviously, there's a bad side where some women feel trapped in not a very good relationship, because it's like housewife, baby, sex type situation. So, you know, but in terms of their culture, they're expected to get married to fulfill the family obligations, and to also maintain their status in society. If they don't get married to their opposite gender usually, then they are frowned upon usually. They're seen as going against the family, you know, and they're like Amit's saying, he's like being outcast by his family. He's got a big family, but when they found out he was impotent, had sexual dysfunction basically, then they kind of like let him go, because he was seen as being a disgrace to the family and not a man. And I just want to really blow this out of the window, you know. There's you don't have to have sex to be a man. You don't have to have sex. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you. You don't have to have sex to be a man. You don't have to have a relationship to be a man. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to do any of these things to actually be a proper person. You know, you are whole in and of your own right. Yeah, Michael, you keep coming late. What's with that? I keep doing it a bit later as well. It's like 10 to midnight I started tonight, I think it was. So yeah, it's really important to know that whether, you know, if you're not in a relationship, you don't want one, you're not having sex, you can't have sex, you know, it doesn't make you any less of a person. You know, your person is your spirit. Your person is your being inside. This is like a body we've got. This is like our shield, this physical form, if you like. Our soul and spirit's inside, and all our souls and spirits are all different. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't make you any less of a person if you're not in a relationship, or you're not having sex, or you're not having babies, or you're not, you know, doing what the family expect you to do. You know, if I lived by how my family wants me to live, I wouldn't be here today talking to you like this. Hi, Florina, nice to see you. Because I'm very different to my parents. I'm very different to how I was brought up. You know, my parents are like, no sex before marriage. My parents have been married 50 years this year. Hi, Heather. And, you know, I'm so happy they've been married 50 years. I'm really pleased for them. I used to be the marriage type, but I'm not anymore. It's not who I am. You know, with marriage usually comes housework and stereotypical female stuff you have to do, and kind of prevents you living like a teenager. I mean, I don't even want to live with anyone because I'm very happy living on my own. I like living like a teenager. I like being up till, I think, like, yeah, like last night I worked through the night. It was up till 9 this morning. I didn't go to sleep till 9 a.m. this morning, and then got up later because I like working throughout the night because I can focus better because I'm hugely creative, and then getting up, you know, sleeping a bit in partway through the day and then getting up. And that really suits me. And this year I'm doing it all the time like that at the moment because it's what suits me. I'm really happy. I feel happy like that, really happy. But when you're having a stereotypical relationship, and you're in a relationship where, you know, you're living together and you're doing the housework and all the other stuff, some people might like that. It's not what I like, you know. And I really think and wish, same, never written anything during the day, all between 3 and 7 a.m. Oh, that's great, Florina. Usually my natural sleep pattern is go to sleep at 4 and then sleep till midday, you know, work throughout the night till 4 a.m. and then sleep at midday till 12 and then get up again. And then do some, like, I'm doing meditations this year that are like positive affirmations, really, to help my mind get better, because I really want to change myself this year for the better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of mindset stuff, and I'm really changing my mindset this year. So I'm going less focused on relationships, like romantic relationships, more focused on finances, business, making money, because I need to keep a roof over my head, because I don't know if you know, but the year before last I was made redundant from my job, so I've actually been out of an employed job now for over a year. So yeah, that's been challenging but great. So yeah, I see it as an opportunity, but I digress. But yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, that, you know, if someone's watching this now and they are impotent and they can't have sex for a sexual dysfunction reason, whether they're asexual or not, obviously this channel's aimed at asexuals, you know, don't think you're less of a person just because you can't do that. It means that you're just going to have a different type of relationship. It means you've got to find that person, or persons if you're poly, but person who really loves you for who you are. And obviously that's a benefit of having a relationship with an asexual. You know, if I met an Indian guy in the UK, because, you know, I really like Indian guys, and he was impotent but not asexual, but he didn't, you know, he couldn't have sex ever, I mean, that would be great for me, because it'd be bad in the sense if their mind was still sexual all the time. You know, if they were watching porn and stuff, I couldn't handle that. I don't like that personally. But if they were, you know, if they were like, I'm not interested in it. I don't like touching the insides of people's mouths with my fingers. Oh, you've got another Michael. There's 2 Michaels on here. Why would you be touching someone's mouth with the insides of your fingers? Why would you be doing that? That is a very weird thing to say. Oh my gosh. I hear everything on this channel. That is one of the most far out things I've ever heard in my life. Why would you be putting your finger in someone else's mouth unless you were playing weird, like, daddy baby games or something? It's very asexual. Wash them before doing that, right? Very asexual. I don't know if you know, but asexual means absence of sexual attraction. As in, I'm talking to the second Michael now, not the first one. Not my usual regular Michael. I'm talking to the other Michael. But are you sure it's asexual? I think you mean it's a sexual thing to do. And asexual yeah, so basically, some people who watch this channel who don't know who I am, I'm an asexual person, so I've got the absence of sexual attraction. So I don't have sex. I don't like it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Yes, I've done that in the past. But I think most people who are new to this channel, who are not asexual, that come on here, they don't realise that I'm not a sexual person. I'm an asexual person. I just like touching inside people's mouths. Right. Well, I have never heard of that in my life with your fingers. Yeah. I'm guessing it's kind of a sexual act, but yes. Anyway, I guess each to their own. So yeah, I just think it's really important to know that however you are in life, you know, you're not less of a person for not being able to do something that other people can do. So if, for example, you are disabled and can't have sex, or you are impotent and can't have sex, you know, you may not be asexual, but, you know, I just watched a very sexual movie and cringed all the way through. Lots of sex scenes. Oh, Florina, how could you watch that? Why do I torture myself? I don't know. Don't do what I do and watch no sex movies. There's quite a few of them I usually talk about on this channel. Such as Trolls is sex-free. Bumblebee is sex-free. There's a lot of sex-free movies out there. Avengers is sex-free. It's all good stuff. So yeah, so I just wanted to make sure in this video that it was talking about my friend who's impotent and asexual. The Lion King is how I learnt English. Oh, bless you, Florina. And I just wanted to let you know that it doesn't matter how you are in life, you know, if, you know, like there's some people on this channel who watch it who are aromantic asexuals. They lack romantic attraction. They lack sexual attraction. And I was talking with Heather, actually, in another video comment. And I wanted to make it clear that, you know, people who haven't been in a relationship, so the aromantic asexuals that don't want to be in a relationship, for example, it doesn't make you less of a person. But I think society, unfortunately, condemns people who have never had a relationship or have never had sex. But it doesn't make you less of a man or less of a person if you haven't done that. In actual fact, it makes you a lot stronger because it means you don't need anyone else but yourself. You know, if you don't need anyone else but yourself, then you are the strongest type of person in this world, because it means you can be completely happy and content on your own, not needing any sort of outside fulfillment or relationship. You can just go along your day being you. And that's what is actually great about being single as well. You know, there are thousands of people single, and years ago it used to be frowned upon to be single. But nowadays it's getting better and better. How do asexual people think on children? Okay, Florina, you want to know about what asexual people think of children. Okay, so in regards to children, asexual people think different things. So personally, I don't want kids. I've never wanted kids since I was 15 years old. Never, ever. There's someone in my Asexual Perspectives book, but I don't know where it is now. So if you haven't got a copy of this, go and grab one. But there's someone in this book. It tells us loads of different people's stories, by the way. If you haven't got it, go and grab one. The link's below. But there's someone in my book that actually says that they find it very repulsive, the fact that they think about the baby going through the birth canal and pushing out. They don't see anything natural in it. And that's personally, once this kid came up to me in the shop and kicked me in the balls. Thank you, Michael number 2, I'm going to call you. Well, that wasn't very nice. Then I no longer wanted kids. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure that did put you off. It would kind of put me off if it was a guy as well. But, yeah, so in terms of Farina's question, me personally, I don't ever want kids. And I kind of think about that like that person does in the book, that I don't see anything natural about a baby coming, you know, inside you and then shoving out. In actual fact, with me, I'm pregnancy repulsed. I cannot stand pregnancy. I don't like it. It took me about 2.5 years to come to terms with seeing pregnant women in my work, in my last job, because I worked opposite a nursery. So there was pregnant women coming in and looking at prams all the time and accessories, you know? And so I had to get used to it. And I used to feel sick. I mean, really sick. Physically sick. I wasn't physically sick, but I felt nauseous, you know, because I didn't like the bump. The whole thing made me feel sick. I don't feel natural about having something inside me. Actually, I said it, if I had something in me, I'd literally want to rip it out of me. I hate it that much, I knew at 15 years of age I never wanted kids, and I knew there and then if I ever changed my mind about having kids that I would have adopted, and they would have been like 3 or 4, probably 4 going on 5 actually, when they were school age, so that I could have a life of my own, and I could pick the child I wanted. And I think, there's a lot of kids that do need a lot of love out there, and I think if you pick one of them, they can feel absolutely special that you chose them if you do it in the right way, And I think that's, personally, I think more people should adopt people. There's lots of kids out there that really need loving homes. And I just think it's so important. In my opinion, it's a bit absurd. I'm rather fascinated about procreation, the way life works and comes into existence. Might be the scientist in my head. I agree on adoption. Yeah, I personally don't get fascinated by it. I don't think it's natural at all. I'm probably one of the few people on this entire planet, but apart from the woman in my book, I think, who doesn't think it's natural. So there are, like I said, there is someone in my book. I can't remember where she is at the moment in here, but definitely she says about, I don't see anything natural about going down a birth canal and coming out that way and stretching it. Do you know what I mean? I don't judge, I just believe otherwise. No offence, please. No, I know, especially if you're not asexual, then you'd think more about it being natural. But there are some people that are asexual. So I'm talking about me. Not many people are pregnancy repulsed, so that is quite unique. I don't know anyone else that's pregnancy repulsed, really pregnancy repulsed like I am. Like, they don't like, for example, the person in my book, she doesn't want it inside her, it repulses her. But I don't think she's at the point where she looks at other people and feels sick. Whereas that's what I used to be like, really physically sick. My mum's the opposite to me. All she's ever wanted is a child and to be a housewife. I never wanted a child since 15, and I hate housework. And being a housewife is one of the worst things that I could even think of in my life. I hate it. I am not that type of person. It's like, if the guy wants to do housework, let him do it. That's why I prefer living on my own. I'll just do minimal housework that I can possibly do to live okay, and walk around in my home. So yeah, so there's some other asexuals. I'm not very enthusiastic about mood swings and morning sickness or turning into a boat, but it's the way it is, and I'd actually like children, husband or not. Yeah. So that's one thing that I personally am. So there's some other asexuals that will have children and they just have sex just to get the children. Now, I know I have someone on who messages me sometimes from a newsletter I write, my Asexualized newsletter. I don't know if you've seen it. The link's down below. It's free to sign up for. It's called Asexualized What's Happening newsletter. And this guy, I won't go into detail because obviously it's his own private emails to me, but he basically, I think he won't mind me sharing because obviously it's anonymous anyway, you don't know who this guy is, that he and his wife have just had sex, just have the kids, and that was it. And that is something that other asexuals do. There's some asexuals that will literally just have sex for the act of doing it to procreate, and that's it, because they do want the children naturally, and then they won't do it. Yes, it's practical. Yeah. So that's the other type of asexuals you have. Then you have the other asexuals that will adopt, like I obviously suggested that, that is a good way. There's lots of kids that need adoption. So there are ones that will adopt. And then the fourth thing is some asexuals will have artificial insemination. So there's one asexual in one of my asexual groups, and she had it on her own, and her parents were supporting her to have artificial insemination as just a single mum person, if you know what I mean. No partner, just having it herself because she wants a child that badly, but she's asexual and doesn't, that's what sex is after all, the pleasure part. I think it's just there to keep the planet populated by keeping people hooked on ecstasy. Yeah, you see, I don't get any ecstasy from sex. I get ecstasy. I want to be financially stable. I consider that, yeah. See, personally, I get ecstasy out of kissing the right foreign guy. A young, hot, foreign guy who I love to kiss is great, but I don't want sex with him. I don't get ecstasy over sex. I don't, even if I physically come, as it were. It's getting a bit intimate talk now. Depends on the person. Yeah, but I'm asexual, obviously, Florina, whereas you don't. Yeah, I'm asexual, so it's a bit different for me. So yeah, I don't, I don't have, I'm a heteromantic asexual, and I've got the grey area of kissing. So for me, I have high arousal levels with kissing. It makes me feel very aroused, and I like that feeling sometimes, unless it's too much overwhelming for me. I like that feeling in my body, but it doesn't make me ever want sex. Never. And it's really weird feeling, because I wasn't consciously aware of that. I've spoke about this recently. I wasn't consciously aware of being aroused when I was in heterosexual relationships in the past, because I did have sex in the past. I wasn't aware that what I was experiencing was arousal and not sexual attraction. So now I'm consciously aware of what my body does. I'm a lot more in tune with myself. Since I've found out I was asexual, I understand myself a lot better. But it was quite scary when I first found out I have high arousal levels. I'm like, hang on a minute, what's my body doing here? I'm not used to this. I was used to it in a context with a bloke in the past, but I wasn't used to it in a context on my own. And I'm like, I've never noticed this before. What's going on? And it was very, 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 very strange. Obviously, Matty T, I'm confused. Well, you might be confused because you might not know what we're talking about. I was originally talking about impotency and asexuality at first, and then one of the viewers' questions, yeah, welcome, Florina was asking me what asexuals think of having children. So we've moved from impotency and sexual dysfunction and asexuality, which is what I was originally talking about on this channel. I read a poem out from an asexual friend of mine, which was about how he was abandoned by his family because they found out he had sexual dysfunction because he was impotent and couldn't have sex. That was what I did at the beginning of this video. And then some of you have come partway through it, and now we've got into a different discussion, which Florina brought up, which was about what do asexuals think about having children, because she wants to know from an asexual point of view. So that's what I was explaining. So we've gone through it from one subject in this video to another. That's the difference with these live streams, is we do tend to end up chatting, because the live stream is an opportunity for any of you to ask me any questions. Oh, Hannah means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. Yeah, but I'm done with asexuality. Michael. What? Michael Tennant, I'm done with asexuality. What's that supposed to mean? You're asexual? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Michael. Plot twist. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was doing at the beginning of this video. Is my friend Amit, I was explaining, he's Indian. I'm going to get some girls and enjoy myself. Michael, you don't talk like that. What are you talking about? Has someone hacked your account or something? Because you don't speak like this. The other Michael has taken my name and avatar. What? The other Michael's taking your name and avatar? Well, that's really, really bad. It isn't me. Troll. Is there another troll in here? That's really horrible. I know you don't speak like that, so I know it's not you. That's really horrible. I don't know why someone would want to do that, but, I guess it makes them get a kick or thrill out of it or something. I'm really sorry, Michael. The real Michael. I love you to bits. There's a fake Michael pretending to be me. That's really horrible. The picture with his face closer is the wrong Michael. Okay. Yeah, he didn't have... Yeah, that's not nice, is it? Yes, why are you doing that? Yeah, it's the one with the fat face. Why is he doing that? Right, I'm going to end this live stream, and I'm not going to, it's not... Why are you taking over someone else's identity? You do know you can get done for that on the internet. Do you know what I mean? It's just stealing someone's identity. It's like committing fraud. I'm sorry, Michael. It's very disrespectful to you. I don't know why he would do such a thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this live stream, because I don't think it's very nice doing that. And it's just... Right. No, he won't go with the crowd at all. I'm not being in a situation... I would just block people who I don't believe are genuine people. So you either leave now and stop being rude and stop trying to steal other people's identities, or I'm just going to block people and no one's going to be able to talk to me on this channel. It's as simple as that, you know, if you're going to steal people's identities. You know? I'm friends with the real Michael anyway. I'm friends with the real Michael as somewhere else. So, you know what I mean? So I'll know who the real Michael is. So, you know, but it's just horrible. Why are you stealing someone's identity? What's the point in it? Do you know what I mean? So, internet's full of this. Can't do anything, just ignore. Yeah, but anyway, I've pretty much said all I want to say on this live stream now, because obviously we've gone off completely on a different tangent onto a completely different topic than what I was originally talking about. So, and, you know, I want to keep this channel as lovely as possible without people changing their names every 5 minutes. So, yeah. Michael, I'll message you the only place I'm connected to you, okay? Alright, which I haven't been on for a while. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to do about it either, but I just know there's some people that just get a thrill out of being weird. Nothing, he'll get bored and change it back. Don't worry, Michael. Well, yeah, he'll have to get bored, won't he? It's just, it's not particularly nice. It's like, what's the point in it? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like The Matrix, though, isn't it, or something? Like, when you see loads of that guy in The Matrix, what's it called? I can't remember. Is it Mr. Smith or something? Or there's just, like, stat loads of Mr. Smiths everywhere. It's like, there's tons of them. Silly fun for dumb asses. Yeah, but this channel's, you know, better than that. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you on the next channel live stream, and I will see you soon. So take care and love you lots, and take care, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Bye.